Shalom, friends. Welcome to Candid Treasures. I have a very interesting lesson today, and it has to do with what's going on in this world in this year of 2020. It's been a crazy year, and I've got some questions to ask you, so bear with me. I want you to think about it as I ask these questions. In the last 6 months, have you felt more irritated and on edge than usual? Has news about social unrest and protests shocked and even distressed you? Are you disgusted and fed up with the comments on social media? Does listening to the news insult you, maybe even cause outrage? Are political arguments causing resentment and exasperation? Are you challenged or belittled for your faith, maybe even excluded from certain events or with certain friends? Are you mortified by blatant acceptance of perversion and satanic behavior? Are you seeing more road rage and public agitation? Are strangers offering their uninvited opinions, testing you for political correctness? Are your children echoing the voices of intolerance to traditional values? Do you feel provoked and wounded by those who disagree with you? Because of COVID, are you frustrated with the changes in the workplace and concerned about the economy? Have your nights been unrestful? Are you lying awake or awakened, feeling fearful, agitated, or frustrated? Are you confused, maybe even insulted by the reasoning behind mandates and ordinances? Do you find being forced to wear a mask annoying, maybe even demeaning and humiliating? Or maybe you're mad if others don't wear their mask. Are family members, coworkers, and even friends quickly challenging you with vexing and indignant comments? Do you feel affronted by hateful and judgmental voices? Are you disturbed by protesting, ranting, and complaining because some feel slighted or neglected? Do you notice that people get their feelings hurt easily and are bothered a little more than usual? Do you realize all of this is because of one thing? People are offended. You see, Jesus said that in 2 Thessalonians, this is actually Paul saying this, for this reason God will send upon them a deluding influence so that they will believe what is false. There is a false spirit, there is a pervading spirit going all over the earth right now, not just America, not just in our cities here, but across the world where people are offended. Jesus said in Matthew 24 that people will be offended. Offense will be heightened in these last days. So I asked the Lord, I said, God, what are the things that we need to do? Show us. I don't want to be confounded by this. I don't want to be under this spirit of offense. And I find myself often being offended. I was offended the other day by a sign I saw in a restaurant that said I needed to wear a mask. And it said at the bottom, it's the law. Well, it's not the law. And I was offended by it. And I had to talk to the manager about it. Do you find yourself doing these types of things or feeling this way? Well, I went to the Lord and said, God, what do I do? I don't want to be a part of this spirit. And he gave me 4 things. He told me to walk in love and walk in the Holy Spirit. So to walk in love means you need the Holy Spirit, especially whenever things are going around you that causes you to get into the flesh. And so he gave me these scriptures. Proverbs 17:9 says, whoever covers an offense seeks love, but he who repeats a matter separates close friends. And I have to admit, even my friends, I was a little irritated with sometimes because we might have different ideas about the things that are going on in the earth. Ephesians 5:2 says, walk in love as Christ loved us and gave himself up for us. We need to walk in love. We need to walk as he walked. He also told me the second thing, besides walking in love, that is walking in the Holy Spirit, is to guard your mouth and actions. Psalm 141:3-4 says, set a guard, O Lord, over my mouth and keep watch over the door of my lips. Do not let my heart incline to any evil, to busy myself with wicked deeds in company with men who work iniquity, and let me not eat of their delicacies. We just should not participate. God, guard my mouth. Keep watch over the door of my heart. Don't let me fall into this evil spirit that is going across the earth. I don't want to busy myself in the wickedness and just the magnitude and the senselessness of these angry thoughts that seem to just be hitting us like darts. James 1:19 says, know this, my beloved brothers, let every person be quick to hear, slow to speak, and slow to anger. So guard your mouth, guard your actions. And that's the second thing. The third thing he said to do is to avoid or endure. 1 Peter 2:20 through 23 says, "For what credit is it if when you sin, you're beaten for it?" Right? You probably deserve it. So you endure. "But if when you do good and suffer for it, you endure, this is a gracious thing in the sight of God." So if we don't deserve what we're getting, the type of treatment or the type of anger that's coming our way, yet we endure it, God sees it as gracious. And so to endure it is something that is good in the eyes of the Lord. Also says in Romans 16:17, "I appeal to you, brothers, to watch out for those who cause divisions and create obstacles contrary to the doctrine that you have been taught. Avoid them." So, endure and avoid. Those are two major things that we can do to not get caught up in this present darkness that's pervading the earth. And the fourth thing is fight, the good fight, and stay clean. 2 Corinthians 10:3 through 5 says, For though we walk in the flesh, we do not war in the flesh. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through God to the pulling down of strongholds. You know, we do have weapons right here at our hands, right by our spirit. We can come against the vile attacks of the enemy, and we can come against these strongholds that are coming against us. We do it through prayer. We do it through the authority of the name of Yeshua. We don't have to fight with our mouth. We don't have to come back and say something negative back on Facebook or try to avenge ourselves. We can do it through prayer, and it's effective. Hebrews 12:15 says, "See to it that no one fails to obtain the grace of God, that no root of bitterness springs up and causes trouble, and by it many become defiled." So we guard, we fight, we stay clean. Don't allow bitterness to root inside of you. These are some practical things that God has given me, and I hope by sharing with you, you will be able to use them for your benefit and not fall into the trap that Satan has put before us, in fact, before the whole earth. God bless you, and shalom.